Hustle Horror presents Blood Moon Over the Border. Ricardo Sanchez had seen a lot working Don Mateo's ranch near the Rio Grande. Men with AKs slipping through the cactus at night, cattle gutted for sport by coyotes, border crossers dying of thirst in the gullies. But nothing he'd ever seen could explain what started when the blood moon rose over the desert. It began with the animals. One morning, Ricardo found one of the calves, a newborn he had helped deliver, lying still under the scrub trees. It hadn't been torn apart like a coyote would do. No, this was worse. Its body was dry, shriveled, skin stuck to bone like wet paper, two neat holes in its neck oozing black clots. No blood in the dirt, no tracks, just silence and a stink like copper and old rot. Don Mateo cursed and muttered about Los Diablos, but shrugged it off. Coyotes, he said. Always the coyotes. But it kept happening. A goat, then two sheep. The dog Ricardo had raised from a pup, Paco, was next. Ricardo found him one morning, stretched out stiff under the mesquite, his tongue black and swollen, the same puncture wounds on his throat. The old men in town started whispering over their beers at the cantina. Chupacabra. Ricardo laughed it off, but at night, when the wind slipped cold through the broken fences, he locked the doors tight and kept a shotgun by the crib where his infant son, Juan Carlos, slept. Then came the night the cattle screamed. It was past midnight when Ricardo heard them, a low rumble of panic building into frantic bawling. He stumbled out the door, boots half on, rifle in hand. His flashlight swung wild over the pasture. The cattle were in a frenzy, bellowing, crashing into each other, eyes rolling white. That's when he saw it, or thought he did. A shape, hunched and skeletal, skittered on long, clawed fingers across the dirt. It was hairless, skin pale and stretched tight over bones. Its face was wrong, too long, too sharp, with huge black eyes that caught the light and didn't blink. It disappeared into the brush before Ricardo could fire. He barely slept, sat up all night, chain-smoking, rifle across his knees. At dawn, he found 3 more cows dead, sucked dry like the others. When he staggered back to the house, the front door was open. He froze. His wife, Mariana, was standing barefoot just inside, pale, eyes wide. She pointed, not speaking, to the empty crib. Ricardo ran to it. The blanket was crumpled, stained with a smear of red leading toward the open window. A trail of small, wet footprints marked the dusty floor, each print no larger than a man's hand, leading out into the desert. Ricardo chased it. He ran through the thorn bushes, over cracked earth, past the rusted barbed wire, his lungs tearing in the hot air, following the sticky trail until the prints simply vanished under the shadow of a dead mesquite. He fell to his knees, sobbing, cradling the empty blue baby blanket he found snagged in the thorns. Some nights, when the wind dies and the moon turns red, Ricardo says you can still hear it, a high, wet sucking sound out in the cactus fields. And sometimes, if you listen close, a baby's thin cry carried on the desert wind. No one stays on Don Mateo's ranch anymore. The cattle are long gone. The fences are broken. The house is abandoned. Windows busted out. Crib still sitting in the corner, empty and gathering dust. They say the Chupacabra isn't after goats anymore. It got a taste for sweeter blood, and it's still hungry.